Here we are with marketing number 5, sell the experience, not the amenity. And let me dig in and explain what that means. What happens is most of us are charged with marketing our city, our town, our county, our state, our province, and so we start marketing geography instead of the activities that are going to actually pull people to us. It could be our downtowns, you name it. And for this, what I did is I grabbed Washington State's visitor guide. Now, this is brand new, and I wanted to look at the ads, how communities are marketing themselves. I picked on Washington because I picked on Texas a lot, and Washington is my home state. And so I thought, okay, let me just take this one. And I started looking at ads to see how effective they would be. Now, remember, people are looking for things to do. They're not looking for cities and towns. In most states, provinces have 400 or 500 towns. What sets you apart? And so I started looking at these ads, ready for your return. It's Leavenworth. Leavenworth is an incredible Bavarian village, but would you know it from this quick ad? So when you start looking at these, visit this island. Why should I? I mean, what is the activity you're trying to sell me on? And so visit Everett. I mean, you're going to see common things, open for adventure. Isn't anybody and everybody open for adventure? Find your flow, then I guess they're talking about tides and everything. And we have all these photographs in this ad. I don't know what the main activity is. And so as we go through all these ads, we see, it's visit Bellingham. At least they put sightsee, savor, and wine. But can I do that just about anywhere? And so what happens is, this is where I grew up. Inspiration for the senses, but what's the activity? If they told you that this is the #1 viewing location for orcas in the world, that's enough to sell a whole lot of people, and so what happens is we end up, just visit our town, and there's no why. It's all about the city. It's all about the destination, City of Pateros, gateway to recreation. By the way, don't use the word gateway. Gateway is something you pass through to go somewhere else. And so, I mean, isn't every town a gateway to recreation? Visit Most Lake. These are all about cities, towns, locations, the Olympic Peninsula. And then we've got a list of the towns: Forks, Port Angeles, Squim, we keep going down the list. Visit Pullman. I mean, do you see what I mean here? Grant County. Have you ever gone anywhere because it was a county? Just natural ingredients. Visit Richville. These are all about marketing cities, and none of them are telling me what the activity is. We have world-class kayaking or bird watching or anything. Why should I come there? Now this one here is Rainier National Park in Washington State. Now, if they would have taken this ad and concentrated on this one thing, because I looked at the ad, and by the way, people have 2.5 seconds. That's how long they will look at an ad. If you can't pull them in 2 seconds, you're going to lose them. But here it says, take a scenic ride on the Mount Rainier gondola, enjoy lunch at Washington's highest elevation restaurant. If they would have made that the whole ad, they would have sold me just like that. But instead they say, but we have this and this and this and this. And we end up with a gazillion photographs. And, this is Yakima Valley. I mean, these are all about, this one here is almost embarrassing. We just bought property near Spokane, Washington, room to roam. Really? And are there alligators there? No, I don't even know. I mean, I just see what I mean. So this is the problem. And if you're doing some of these things, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. You're just doing what everyone else is doing, promoting cities and towns. And what we need to do is find what sets us apart and what is there to do that makes you worth a special trip. And that is so important in all of these. And it's the same, not just in tourism and downtowns, but it's the same with economic development. I could grab, and this was an issue of Site Selection Magazine. You can see the gateway to everywhere on the left, and welcome to opportunity, and Columbus and everything. And what was interesting in this one publication, there was more than 100 ads, and there was one that got more reader responses than the other 99 put together. And it was this one: discover the difference between earning a living and having a life. And that's Michigan. See what I mean? They sold the experience before they said, by the way, bring your business here. And that is what we're talking about. Now, these are not primary lures, your location, cities, counties, regions. Now, of course, if you're Las Vegas, then we know you as the city of Las Vegas or even Orlando. But generally speaking, we're not looking for cities, counties, and regions, towns. Historic downtowns are a dime a dozen. I'm really sorry. Architecture is something we'll look at once, but we're there for the activity beyond just looking at buildings. And so scenic vistas last 5 seconds. Then what? And these are all part of the ambience. Success revolves around what is the primary activity that's going to get me to come to you. And here's a fascinating stat. 70% of people looking for places to go are frustrated with their travel planning on the web. And the reason is you're promoting cities and towns and they're looking for single track mountain biking in a certain area. And so that's number one. Number two, market activities, not amenities. So like I said, when we use the internet, it's like this: casinos near Halifax, Nova Scotia. Now, in this case, we're looking for casinos. So in this case, a casino can market themselves because what else do we look for? Gambling near Halifax. We're going to just look for casinos. But that's how we use it. But you notice we put Halifax, Nova Scotia is last, not first. Casinos is first. RV camping near Lake Huron, Ontario, where this is coming to you from. Lake Huron, Ontario is second to whatever the activity is. In this case, RV camping. Or here we go, best lakes for stand-up paddleboarding near Northeast North Dakota. See, so what we always do is we look for the experience and then the general location. We're not even looking for specific towns in a lot of cases. Best mountain biking trails near Canmore, Alberta. We're looking for best mountain biking trails. And then we're saying near Canmore or in Canmore. City is always last. And so this is a real problem. Top mountain biking trails near Whitefish, Montana. This is how we use the web. And so when you go in and you say, hey, when I type in the name of our city, we come up number one, you're the only ones doing that. Top hiking trails near Goderich, Ontario, which is actually right where this is coming from. And look at that list there. That's what we're looking for. 86% of web searches don't extend beyond the second page of search results. How often do you go past the first page of search results? That's how problem this is. And you need to work on your content. So the SEO, so it shows up by your primary activities, not by the name of your cities. And if you market, we have lakes, we have rivers, we have shorelines, we have beaches, we have wetlands, nature preserves, trails, historic downtowns, museums, inns and hotels. All of these are amenities. This lake is beautiful, but what sells me if I saw a kayaker on that lake or somebody fishing on the lake or somebody water skiing on the lake, whatever it is, that primary activity that your lake would be known for. These are amenities. And so just about everyone everywhere has these. Maybe not everybody has beaches, but what sets yours apart? You need to be better or different. And that takes us back to all those branding workshops we did. And what's interesting is Google has even figured this out. If I just type lakes near me now, it shows me Trix Pond, Morrison Lake, Lake Owanawash. And then it says lakes near me for fishing and swimming. Even Google says, well, maybe you're interested in fishing and swimming. Or the 10-base lake near Listowel, Ontario. Best swimming lakes. So even though I only put in lakes, Google knows that we're looking for activities, and it'll try to take from whatever their websites, whatever they've got for content and say, oh, this one's really good for swimming and fishing. And so that is really important to this whole thing and why you need to do it, not rely on Google to do it for you. And so that's number two. Number three with this, with your photography and videography, you need to show people in activities, not places. So if you're known for kiteboarding, show photos like this and then put, we're the number one lake for kiteboarding, or we're one of the top 3 lakes for kiteboarding, whatever it is. or it could be up in almost anything, stunt flight kayaking near the Rocky Mountains in Alberta. Be known for something and use these in your ads. If that doesn't look like a great place to do stunt flight kayaking, I don't know what does. But even in the book I wrote about the 25 immutable rules of tourism, I did sell the rapids, not the river. I'd even go further and say sell the rafting, not the river. If you took the rafters out of this photo, what you see is rapids. They look pretty epic. But when you see these people going through those, it evokes emotions. So we want interactivity. Here, you don't even have to see the whole lake. You just see a family having a good time on a floating tricycle. So in all of your photographs, think about this. Put the experience front and center, and your location is in the background. See, so photos like this sell me on why I'd want to go there and do that. Or this one here in the winter. Put the experience front and center, and the location, once again, is in the background. I mean, go to, in Nova Scotia, have some of the highest tides in the world. And so they have this thing called tidal bore rafting. When the water comes back up into the rivers and stuff, it creates this tidal bore. It just carries you along. It's almost like surfing. And yes, you get pretty muddy. But you know what? People from around the world, when they go there, will want to go out and experience this. And yes, they take a lot of showers afterwards. So whatever that experience is, promote it, because it's the reason we'll go to your location. So don't start with the location. Tell me why I should go there, and then say, and here's where you'll find it. No matter what it is, in the Gulf, whale watching, the Gulf Islands, it would be great if this photo had a humpback whale breaching the water right there next to the boat. And then you can say, and by the way, you'll find this in the Gulf Islands of British Columbia or the San Juan Islands of Washington State. We're looking for experiences that make you worth a special trip. So always show people in photographs. And always, when you use photographs, if you can get people to go, whoa, or wow, like the rafting ones, then you're going to evoke emotion. And when we evoke emotion, we remember you. So you might have a great sailing lake, but this evokes emotion. When you use pictures like this, you could even put Scream with Delight. If you're a sports destination, using photos like this, or if you're all about solitude, yoga on the beach or the shoreline, photos like this are great to use in your ads. Even little tiny clips like this, where you just see these guys mountain biking, makes you want to go do it. And that's a 10-second clip. And so those are the things that the way you need to market. Even for a water park, don't need to show the whole water park. It's how loud can you scream, and just show people in the experience. It looks epic. I used this photo for the cover of this presentation because they're smiling. And when you see people smiling, we all have a habit of smiling with them, and it evokes an emotional response. And that is how we remember you. And then number 5 on this, look at your rack brochures. Remember, even on your brochures, when they're in a rack full of brochures, we only see the top couple of inches. If you saw this with 100 different brochures, would you pick it up? Or what if you saw this one side by side? Which one would you pick up? Chances are you'd probably pick up the picturesque Victorian village set among the vineyards of Western New York. It sells experience. Well, guess what? It's the very same brochure. All we did is put the experience at the top and then welcome to Fredonia down below. You need to reverse your thinking from cities, counties, and destinations to what is the experience, and then say, here's where you'll find it. And that's what you need to know. I think these did, and by the way, yellow always draws the eye. In both these cases, these businesses did a great job promoting the experience, which is whale watching, and then San Juan safaris or island adventures down below. So even for business, don't put the name of your B&B, your hotel at the top. Put why we should stay there. What, maybe you have a beautiful swimming pool or waterfalls or something. Always put that at the top. And number 6, look at your print ads. Experience first, who you are is second. And I've talked about this lots of times, but in any ad, this just happens to be a full page ad for Kenora, Ontario. Your point of differentiation, 14,000 islands. I mean, and then the experience, it's this person, just the photo can sell the experience, just relaxing with a morning cup of coffee on a deck on the lake. And then you've got to close the sale. That's where your body text, that's what we call this, the body text, and then location last. That is how all your marketing, even online marketing, everything, so this is a poster, Kenora, Ontario. And once again, it's showing those islands, and it's, your voyage begins here, and it's a wedding destination. How awesome is that? And so once again, I mean, I've shown this in the past in other workshops, but number one is that one signature photo that evokes emotion, then grab life by the handlebars, in this case, the body text down there below, and then the logo. And by the way, you'll find it in Devon, Alberta, enjoy the ride. That's how you need to do this. And then finally, one last one. You've got to deliver on the promise. If you say we're well known for stand-up paddleboarding or pheasant hunting or whatever it is, you need to deliver on the promise. And this brings me to my last little bit in this one, is I love this ad copy for Tokyo Water Park. Welcome to breathtaking Tokyo Water Park, where you can wash away the pressure and the stress of the overcrowded city and relax with your friends in the soothing enjoyment of sun fun and splashing. Now, they really did a good job selling the experience. The bad news is they put a photograph with it. I haven't shown this in years, and it's like, oh my gosh, how is that getting away from it all? That's really the ultimate escape. So once again, you have to deliver on the promise. So in a nutshell, market the primary activity before your location. Market activities, not amenities like lakes. What is the lake known for? And yeah, you might have a lake that does boating and fishing and stand-up paddleboarding and kayaking and sailing and everything. Don't just say we have a lake for everything, because stand-up paddleboarders don't like stand-up paddleboarding next to water skiers. See what I mean? What is the one thing that helps your lake really stand out? Show people, not just places. Evoke emotion in your photography. One signature photo per ad. Don't put 10, because we only have 2 seconds and we have 10 photos. It's just too much, and we go past all of them. Rack brochures, experience at the top. I mean, print ads, experience first. Where you are is at the bottom right corner, and you must deliver on the promise. And the next in this series is Marketing 6. Tell me why. This is a perfect segue into our next one.